Collective. What is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy for the next week or so via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. We are officially in Gemini season. We've been there for a minute, but it's feeling good. You know, we've been getting a little bit more reprieve in the astrology, not as many transits, not as much tension. Like I said, Gemini season is a lot about communication and flow, daily interactions, people, places, and things that we are connecting with on a regular basis. And there's some positive stuff that's coming with this energy of momentum. Things that feel like they've been long waited, right? Places where we've kind of had to overcome certain lessons, people, situations that have been seemingly taking forever to pan out. And it has been annoying. It has been a little bit arduous, 100%. But we've been seeing that ease off as we've gotten more into Gemini season. And this week is no different. We're starting the week a little bit lighter. As we move throughout the week, however, there is more tension coming up. And it's specifically around Mercury, Jupiter, places that we need to be a little bit more diplomatic and use our wisdom accordingly. But we'll get into all of that. First, I like to start off with an energy cleansing, just kind of set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out any blocks, obstacles, limitations we might be coming into. It's also a really great time to set your own intention for the reading, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. And I do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are just looking for more of a realignment of self, mind, body, soul, I do energy healing, as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we are feeling good in who we are, when we are aligned with ourselves, we're aware of our wants and needs, and that's really where we're able to manifest happiness, abundance, fulfillment from, right? Like we can't be disconnected from ourselves. It doesn't get us very far. So I would love to help support in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama love. All right, so you feel like you're waiting on something, someone or something, like maybe some information, maybe just kind of seeing how something pans out, a wish perhaps, hoping, well, I feel like there's a wish attached to it, I should say. It might not be you specifically wishing for something, but I think you have a certain idea of how you want things to play out. Let's see what, you know, and interestingly enough, like I was saying, there is a little bit of tension as we're ending out the week. And topically, as I'm seeing this, as I'm looking at the astrology, it looks like we've been in this space. Okay, shadow self is coming up as our overarching energy. We've been in this space where we've had a little bit of a lull, time to invest in ourselves or like, you know, refine whatever we need to be refining. We're in the waxing phase of the moon cycle, which is also a really good time to kind of keep looking at what's working, making adjustments accordingly. But it looks like as we're moving through this week, it's going to be a lot about putting into practice what we've learned. and in a way that I feel like it is going to require some needed support, some outside support is what I'm hearing, some community, because there are some things that are feeling a little bit difficult to navigate, i.e. why the shadow is coming up. And this might be in part just like within yourself, things that you're having a really hard time making changes around, because there is some resistance, and we're actually seeing this resistance with Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of our fortune and abundance, and it's resisting some of the changes, right? Maybe things don't have to be so hard, right? So difficult. Sometimes we take life or ourselves way too seriously. Soften is in your blocked energy right now. And here's the thing, oftentimes when we're being really hard on ourselves or on someone else or really rigid, that's when the shadow comes out anyway, right? Like that's when we get all like worked up and make choices, say things, do things that we wouldn't normally had we just been a little bit more relaxed or taking things a little bit slower. And that's where, like, I think beginning of the week, it's really important to kind of embrace some of the things that you are going through. I'm hearing without judgment, right? Like sometimes we just don't like where we're at, and that's what it is. But at the same time, there are still things that we can do to connect with it, i.e. Queen of Wands energy, that make us feel good and make us feel like even if it does suck, even if it's not what we want to be dealing with, etc., that we can still handle that energy creatively 100% with this Ace of Wands. Like taking a new approach, because a lot of the places that we're in these like long-term lessons, I don't know how you want to say it, but it's just like things taking forever and ever to work themselves out. We have to find different approaches, right? Like, so however you're showing up in this moment, in this time, evaluate it. Where could you change it up a little bit? Maybe where could you soften? And again, it doesn't specifically have to be like, oh, you have to be a doormat for someone else. That's not what I'm saying at all. The Queen of Wands is no bullshit, right? Like she's not going to let someone walk all over her. But it's also that value of like people don't want to walk all over her because she has this energy of creativity and charisma and that everyone wants to be around. So how can you speak to your audience? How can you speak to your crowd? How can you make it a little bit more lighthearted and happy? I feel like that's going to give you better results. And honestly, it feels like that's what you're looking for anyway. But it does also seem like there is some humbling that needs to happen in the process. Sorry. Sorry that this is our reading for the week. But, you know, here's the thing. If we're not aware of it now, moving through the rest of the week, it's just going to be harder and harder, because there are some things on the horizon that are kind of coming at us, things that we have to address, Seven of Wands energy, things that we might not really want to address, right? Because it's just very annoying, or it's putting us in a place where, like I'm hearing it's like backtracking, like you feel like you're less than, or that you're not getting validation where validation is due. But this is also up to you to claim, right? Like it's this value of maybe the art of communication, or more so the art of just like interaction with people, how we're connecting, the things that we're saying, the words that we're using, how we're communicating. And honestly, that's what Gemini season is all about, right? It rules the third house, Mercury. And like I said, the people that we have to interact with on a daily basis, which essentially are the people, situations that keep our life up and running, right? Or that we're just having to deal with. We just don't love it right now. Mercury is tensely aspected to the North Node. Mercury is a little bit resistant to change. I know better. This is a little bit of a self-righteous attitude, so be mindful of that, because honestly, if we find solutions, and especially if we find creative solutions right now, we're gonna feel a million times better versus like just like cutting something off or like getting it out of the way or over and done with. It's gonna, that taking shortcuts right now is just gonna come back to bite us in the butt. And here's the thing, you have this very magical energy going for you midweek where yes, a little more tension arises, but I'm seeing this energy this week as, again, this is about forcing us to be a little bit better. Sorry, not sorry. It's like, be a little bit better, be a better version of yourself, step into your power a little bit more. Don't let the bullshit, right? This Page of Cups energy mess with you is what I'm hearing, right? And everything takes time. Even magic takes time, right? Like even magic takes time in the way that we have to kind of prepare and set the stage, cultivate the environment, that type of vibe. And this is exactly what you're doing. I feel like you get this, like there's a way that you're able to connect with this energy as you're moving forward. Be mindful of like, I don't think that there's going to be a lot of success in a certain way. Like, I think you have to just have no expectations. That's what I'm getting at, right? Like, keep those expectations very loose. Because, again, if you're falling into this very specific expectations of how someone's going to respond when you're like, quote unquote, being nice, when you're extending an olive branch, or you feel like you're doing the quote unquote right thing and they don't give you that thumbs up that you're looking for or whatever, don't take it personally right now because you're at the beginning stages, right? I feel like you're learning how to work with the energy this week in a smarter way. And like I said, we all have to start somewhere. So this is about practice. This is about becoming methodical with how this magic shows up in your life. And what do I mean by that? It means that like not only listening to your intuition, to what your gut instincts are telling you about where you need to plug in your time and energy to, allow these aspects where you are getting a little bit triggered or frustrated, etc., to be your guide. Try to be a little bit more diplomatic, right? Like not every mini battle has to be won. I think that's like a war strategy too. Not that I am like the person to be talking about this, but I feel like I remember it's like sometimes you have to lose the smaller battles so you can win the bigger battle, right? And almost being hyper focused on every tiny little minute battle, it's actually stealing your energy away. And this is essentially what you're kind of understanding, processing through as the week unfolds. That there is a way to get what you want, but again, it's coming with a new approach, a different approach, a creative approach, an approach that can go somewhere, i.e. it has legs behind it, it has longevity to it. And honestly, it feels like you're connecting the dots, or that's what it's showing as the week is closing out. Like I was saying, there is still some frustration right now, or lately, Jupiter has been tensely aspected to Saturn. So Saturn is really teaching us our lessons, and Saturn just moved into Aries. So now we have to put those lessons into practice, right? Especially around ourselves, around what we want. We can't just like sit on the couch and hope things happen for us. This is about that energy of being proactive. And there's a lot working in our favor in order to do so, especially as even there still is a lot of support. I have a tendency to kind of focus on more of the negative transits because I like to see the holes, the places that we might need to be paying attention to. It looks, okay, so it does kind of look like someone's trying to connect with you this week. And I feel like this is someone that you might have to be a little bit more humble towards. Spirits, yeah. Someone, okay. This is someone who is a little selfish, and I feel like this is also why you've had a lot of boundaries, or why you've had to be so rigid to some capacity, right? Because it looks like, I feel like these are two, like someone, yeah, is just, they want to be around you. They want to be in your energy, but they're also kind of vicious. And again, I think this is someone that you have to work with. This is an energy that like you have to figure out how to deal with. For some reason, they're not leaving your environment. For some reason, you're in this, you're caught up in this, and that's just what it is. Not to deliver bad news. You already know this, right? And that's part of why it's taking so long, because I do think there's a really big part of the lesson here for you. And I feel like it is about not letting the lies infiltrate, because someone wants those to be heard the most. Someone wants that to be so. Someone wants you to believe the lies. Someone wants you to believe. But there's someone else popping up. And I feel like this is maybe someone who's kind of like attempted to get your attention to come through. Maybe you haven't been paying attention to this other thing because of whatever this other mess is going on over here. I feel like as you're softening, Spirit's bringing in more options to you this week. Because whoever this Knight of Wands is, Knight of Wands, Six of Wands, Nine of Wands. So this is someone who just like really doesn't care. They're in their own vibe. They're in their own energy. And if you come close to them, they are gonna bite, right? And it's in this way where it's just very territorial is what I'm seeing. You can't really infiltrate it. Maybe this is attached to something that you need to soften a little bit around, or recognize that you can't control how this person's situation shows up. Like you just have to let them do what they're gonna do. I do feel like someone is also trying to come in to connect with you. I feel like this is someone who's maybe having a hard time. They're having a hard time reaching out, getting the courage. I feel like you are going to be hearing from them though, end of the week is how it's showing up. I feel like they kind of have some stuff going on that has prevented this connection from happening. Like it kind of looks like they've tried to reach out maybe a few different times. Maybe you didn't pick it up. Maybe other things came into play. We have the Kiwi and Tide Pool. It was wrong timing is what I'm seeing. Wrong place, wrong time. But it feels like as you're kind of dealing with this other energy, as it's giving way, because this Knight of Wands energy is basically saying like, I'm going to do whatever. Like I said, like, so they become irrelevant at some point down the line, whether it's this week, whether that's actually manifesting a little bit more in the future will just kind of depend on your specific situation. Yeah, but I love this scallop. It does feel like, I feel like someone is really admires you, you know, and is really trying to connect with you. And I feel like you've kind of had your energy focused. I feel like someone has been watching how things are playing out for you. It's almost like they're trying to keep those options limited, or it does have a little bit of a jealous rage around this. They're keeping tabs on you. They're keeping tabs on you, but specifically because of whatever this is coming in, whether this is a person, new relationship, new opportunity that has like a lot of abundance attached to it, whatever this is that you're looking for. I feel like this Knight of Wands is on high alert for this to come in, because it kind of looks like we've been seeing this in the collective. Like we know things are happening, things are starting to move. We're getting a little bit more of the confirmation all across the board, but there are still some things we have to sort out, because as we're closing out one chapter, we don't want to take in the toxicity with the new, right? It does look like things are sorting themselves out in a certain way because of how you're showing up. But again, this is really talking about you getting a little bit more creative with your approach this week, especially with people, places, and things that just are not playing fair, simply put. Like, and you can't win, so don't even try. Don't waste your energy. There's something else magical that's manifesting in the background, and I think it's going to make a lot of sense. This is a lot about just letting spirit take the wheel, so to speak, to allow things to manifest, to allow things to come in, because it looks like it's really beautiful. I really like this. This feels good. Thank you so much for your time energy always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I definitely hope that you found messages that resonated for you here. If you did, drop comments below. I'd love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support that you bring to the channel. No, I'm sending it back your way.